Hi guys, so today we're going to go over reference triangles. In the previous tutorial, I went over reference angles, which are acute angles, anything less than 90 degrees. So a reference triangle would be one that is less than 90 degrees. So notice that when they're asking you to find the trig functions, all of the angles they give you are less than 90 degrees. And then the nice thing about the angles they give you, they should look familiar when it comes to a triangle. So remember the unit circle is built from geometry, SOHCAHTOA. It all just correlates together. So pardon the drawing because you all know I can't draw already. We got 90 degree special right triangle here. So since we're working with 45 degrees here, that would make this a 45, 45, 90 degree right triangle. So, given this special right triangle, you already know its sides. If you remember your geometry, opposite of 45 degrees, that side is 1, which means opposite of 45 degrees here, this side is also 1. And you can use Pythagorean theorem if you don't remember a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but this one would be square root of 2. So just in case, a squared plus b squared equals c squared will help you find the hypotenuse where c is the hypotenuse. So remember sine of 45. There's only two things you can really use when you're solving right triangles, either Pythagorean theorem when you're given 2 out of the 3 sides, or SOHCAHTOA when you're given sides and angles. Now in this case, since I'm finding the sine of 45 degrees, I'm going to use SOH, meaning sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. So I'm looking for the sine of 45 degrees. There's two 45 degrees. Which one do I use? Really doesn't matter. So since you guys are used to, I guess, using this angle, we'll use this one. But sine is equal to opposite, so the side opposite of 45 degrees is right here. That's 1. And by the way, if you use this 45 degrees, the side opposite of that 45 degrees is also 1. Over the hypotenuse, which is square root of 2. And depending on your algebra geometry instructor, you never leave a radical in the denominator, so you rationalize, meaning you multiply it by itself. You keep the fraction balanced by doing the same to the numerator. And we multiply fractions straight across. So this would give me square root of 2 over 2, because square root of 2 times square root of 2 is the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is just 2. And if you look on the unit circle, the sine of 45 degrees is also square root of 2 over 2. So same deal for the next one, but since we are applying 30 degrees, I am going to make a 30, 60, 90 right triangle. So this all goes back to geometry. So opposite of 30 degrees is going to be 1. Opposite of 60 degrees is going to be square root of 3. And opposite of 90 degrees is 2, if you remember those sides. And it correlates well because remember, the smallest side is opposite of the smallest angle. The second smallest side is opposite of the second smallest angle. Square root of 3 is about 1.7. And then the largest angle, which is 90 degrees, is opposite of the greatest side, which is the hypotenuse. And then from here, remember that you're given sides and angles, and you're asked to find the cotangent of 30 degrees. So we're going to use SOHCAHTOA when we're given angles and sides. So using SOHCAHTOA, we have tangent, which is the one related to cotangent, because they're reciprocals. So you can find the tangent first, and remember tangent of theta using SOHCAHTOA. Tangent equals opposite over adjacent. So you could find this first and then flip it to get cotangent of 30, or you could just find the adjacent over the opposite. Either way works, but since I've already started, I'm going to go here. Tangent of 30 degrees equals. So here's 30 degrees. The opposite side is the side opposite of that angle, which is 1. And the adjacent side is always the side the angle sits on, which is square root of 3. Do not rationalize when you're finding the reciprocal. Again, don't rationalize the denominator when you're finding its reciprocal. Remember, we're not finding tangent, we're finding cotangent. So the cotangent of 30 degrees is the reciprocal of tangent of 30 degrees, which means I flip this fraction, giving me square root of 3 over 1, which is just square root of 3. All right, guys, hope this helps.